I remember taking a class in community college on Western civilization, a history class, and I was a brand new Christian at the time, and I was going to class excited because I knew we were going to be talking about Christianity. We'd gotten so far into Western civilization, we were going to talk about the influence Christ had on the world. And then, lo and behold, as a new Christian, I didn't realize how surprising it was going to be. The teacher came right out and said Christianity made him uncomfortable. He didn't want to talk about it, so he wanted to get through it quick. He then dismissed most of it by saying it wouldn't have any influence in the world if it wasn't for the Apostle Paul, which I just thought was interesting because now surely that infuriated me, but the funny thing that he didn't address in class, and I was too new of a Christian to know how to bring this up because I think it would have made an interesting discussion. But the Apostle Paul, originally known as Saul, was known for persecuting the church. He hated it. He was a devout Jew who didn't like the spread of Christianity until he had an encounter with Jesus on the road to Damascus, in which he changed teams because he saw Jesus as the living God, as the risen Savior, and that changed his heart and changed his ministry. Now, the teacher didn't address that. He was a history teacher, not a sociology teacher, or a psychology teacher. But what we know about human nature is people don't just switch teams like that, right? If we were to watch a video of bin Laden or some other known terrorist who all of a sudden says, I actually love my enemies now. I no longer hate the countries, the people that I'm trying to terrorize. I'm going to switch sides now. That makes news. That makes headlines. And so it is with the Apostle Paul. Something had to happen for him to change teams as he did and begin preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ that he was once trying to destroy. So something miraculous happened. He encountered the risen Christ, and then he went on to write a lot of the New Testament. So I do this short introduction to the Apostle Paul. An apostle just simply means someone who was sent. Somebody who actually walked with Jesus is the way most people understand the word apostle. There are people out there today that call themselves apostles. That's not the true sense of the word in the Bible. They're not people that actually walked or had an encounter with the actual risen Christ. Those are imposters today. When we talk about apostles, we reserve that just for 12 or 13 people in the New Testament that had an influence for Christ, that walked with him, were in his inner circle, and then had an influence for him in the world. So in coming days, we're going to be unpacking the book of Ephesians. We'll do that via video here during these strange times. And I wanted to give us a little introduction into the Apostle Paul, this sent one of Jesus, and in the church he wrote to. He wrote to a church he established personally in Ephesus. The people there were called Ephesians. So he wrote to the Ephesians. This church he established in around AD 53 was his first encounter there. About 2 years later, he built up a strong church. And then maybe 10 years after that, he writes this letter. Ephesus is in modern day Turkey, and he built a strong, thriving church there and set up leaders to lead that church. So in coming days, we're going to dive into that, and I'm excited. Are you? So please join us. We'll put this out via video to all our channels. Have a good day.